Hello everyone, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jordan. If you are new here, I am a professional figure skater and I'm currently working and living on board the Utopia of the seas. I've been figure skating for 23 years now, which is crazy to say out loud, and I've been performing on board for over 5 years. I am grateful beyond words for this job. I'm literally thankful every single day that I get paid to do something I love, and you know, it's a part of me, so to get to wake up every day and have this as my job is so special. But working on a cruise ship is unlike any other job out there. It is a very unique experience and there's more to it than just performing in the shows. So as I said, I am currently on board the Utopia of the Seas, which if you don't know is Royal Caribbean's newest ship. It is the second largest cruise ship in the world behind Icon of the Seas, and this is an Oasis class ship. So I have worked on this size ship before. I'm very familiar with it, very comfortable with it, and I am already 3 months into my 7-month contract. So before we know it, it's gonna be the halfway mark, and this contract is just absolutely flying by. So I wanted to sit down and do a little 3-month check-in with you all. Our inaugural cruise was on July 19th, but I actually started my contract in May with rehearsals in California. So I flew to California, had just under a month there, and then we flew to France to join the ship. If you want to see what that looked like, I have vlogs up all about that experience, so you can check those out. But today I wanted to focus on all of your questions regarding this contract and just reflecting on the last couple months. So if you're not already following me on Instagram, make sure to follow me on there. I'm posting more real-time and definitely more consistently and frequently. I'm posting daily stories and behind the scenes on board, so definitely check that out. But let's jump on into some of the questions you guys asked. Give me 1 second. For my very first question, what is the end date of this contract? This contract is a 7-month contract, including my rehearsal period, so I will be signing off on December 16th, which is honestly amazing. It's just before Christmas, so I get to be home with my family for Christmas, which is so special to me. I'm very close with my family, and I'm excited to get to celebrate with them and enjoy all the holiday festivities at home. Celebrating the holiday season on board is also a lot of fun, but it is always nice to be home with your family. How does this contract compare to others? Do you prefer it, or have there been others you've liked more? I feel like this is a loaded question. There's aspects of it that I like way more than other contracts, and there's aspects that I like less. But let me explain. The reason I love this contract more than any of my other contracts is because it is a brand new ice show that was catered to this specific cast, and I get to perform a solo that was created just for me. Getting to open an ice show is always such a special moment, but unveiling a brand new show was the most incredible feeling, and it's a feeling I will never forget for the rest of my life. We put so much work into this show, and I really think that we made something really special. So I'm so proud of the work that we have done here, and I'm just so thankful to get to perform this show. It is such a fun show. I love it so much. It's such high energy, and also we have such a great cast, so that makes it fun as well. I also love this contract for the fact that we got a little bit of time on land, which we never get usually for rehearsals. Rehearsals are usually on board. We also got to enjoy Europe a bit, so we were in France for about a month, and we got to get off every single day if we wanted, which was great. So those are two really big pros of this contract. It definitely broke up the contract a bit as well, so we're not just doing 7 straight months on board. And the contract length is quite ideal as well. 7 months is like the perfect length. On the other hand, this contract I don't enjoy as much as others for the sole reason that 3 and 4 day cruises are a lot. I have never worked on a ship that does 3 and 4 day cruises. All of my contracts have been 7-day itineraries. I've done 5 and 9 day on Explorer, my previous contract, and I also did 10 and 11-day cruises. So I'm definitely used to those longer cruises, and the schedule is a bit different. So 3 and 4 day cruises are a lot of work. That is probably my con of this contract, but otherwise I'm having a great time here. When you do contracts like this, where you are skating more shows, do you get compensated more than your 7-day itineraries where you have less shows? So I feel like this is a common misconception. People often think that depending on how many shows you do on a contract correlates to how much you are paid, but it does not actually reflect that. We are paid the same no matter what the schedule looks like. What is your favorite venue or experience that is unique to Utopia? I really like this question. Because I am a crew member on board, I can't really speak from experience, but I do love that the ship is offering a lot of different type of parties that I've never seen on other ships before. So they have this pool party called Plunge on the day we were in Nassau, so that looks like a lot of fun. They also have a frat style kind of party, so there's beer pong and flip cup and things like that, like fun drinking games for obviously people 21 and older. Again, haven't been there, haven't experienced it, but I really like that idea. Sounds like a lot of fun, but the Utopia station takes the cake for sure. It's a really cool experience. I think if you do come on board, you should do it or consider doing it because it is an interactive experience and it's more than just a meal. There's a full show with it and it's really cool. So, what is the major difference between skating this contract and your previous Royal contracts? Every contract is a little bit different because you have different shows on every ship, but this experience is a bit different just because we are skating a lot more than I have ever done. There are some ships that have really, really busy schedules. I haven't really been on those ships, so this is definitely the most I've been skating during a contract. We have 8 shows a week, so it is physically very demanding on our bodies. I am super grateful for the days we have to rest and recover. It's not as much skating as I was predicting before I came here, but it is still a lot, so I have to make sure that I can really take care of my body, let myself rest, recover, and do all the proper preparation to keep my body its best and healthy. What are the vibes of Utopia? From videos I see posted, it seems more of a drink and party vibe. Yeah, I would say it's more of a party vibe for sure. There are still families that come on board and there are activities aside from just the parties that they offer. So there is something for everyone, but it's definitely geared more towards the nightlife sort of vibe, which is different to other ships that I've been on. But it is the world's biggest weekend, so it makes sense. Is there something that you would change about the show or the ship? What would it be and why? That's a good question. I think the only thing that I would change is the short cruises. I would much prefer a 7-day cruise. Yeah, that's really the only thing I would change. The show is perfection. I love it so much. Everything else is great. I would just say, yeah, maybe a 7-day cruise instead of 3 and 4 day because it's a lot. Do you think you will renew or extend your contract when this is over? Because I'm getting older and my body does not feel quite as fresh as it did when I was 21, I do not foresee myself extending on this contract just because the schedule is very demanding and it will wear on my body over time. I don't think I will renew another contract on this particular ship or extend here. I will go home in December and recharge. What is your biggest struggle with the cabin size? My biggest struggle with the cabin would probably be the bunk beds. I would say the bunk beds. I really like having my space when I sleep, so it's definitely a challenge, especially because when you sit up, the ceiling is right there. And I'm a small person, like I'm not very tall, and I'm even hitting my head on the top of the bunk, so I can't imagine like a full tall like 6'4" man. Because it's not just skaters that are in these types of cabins, it's pretty much all crew members on board. So yeah, the cabin itself, the size you get really used to, and I mean when you make it homey, it's fine. I don't really have an issue with how small the room is. I would say yeah, the closet is also small. That's a bit of a struggle, but you can always buy additional storage or like those plastic drawers and put them somewhere in the room. That's what a lot of people do. So I wouldn't say that's my biggest struggle. It'd probably be the bed. Okay, this question has nothing to do with this contract, but I wanted to throw it in there. It says, need a Savannah update, please. So if you guys have been watching me for a couple years, Savannah's one of my best friends from my contract on Voyager. She's Australian. She actually doesn't work on board anymore. She just had her previous contract was on Anthem, but she is home now in Australia and she is settling into life on land. She's going to school. She's got a really great boyfriend that she's been seeing for a while and she's very content. So I really hope I can go visit her. Still am dying to go to Australia, and that really gives me an excuse to go because I miss her so much. And we do still keep in touch. It's hard to stay connected to people on the ship all the time, but yeah, we do catch up and she's doing very well. Do you know your next contract yet? I do not. It's sort of up in the air because I personally don't know what I want to do either way. It has been a topic of conversation between my boss and I. Like, we've discussed, but I haven't made a decision yet. So I have no information to share yet because I don't really know. There's a few different factors that go into all that, but we shall see. I still have 4 months on board. If you could pick any other job on a cruise for one day, what would it be? You know, I gotta say probably one of the party squad members. So on this particular ship, there is the cruise staff, which there always is, and then there's another team that are kind of in charge of all the parties, and they're in charge of entertaining the guests, partying with the guests, which seems like a lot of fun. So I would probably say that for a day because I like to be social, I like to meet people, I like to dance. So it seems like it's an exhausting job, I'm sure, but it seems fun to do for a day, sure. Please explain the parade. I watched on another channel and for the life I have no idea what was going on. So the parade is actually the Effectors Homecoming Parade. If you've been on, I don't know all the ships that have Effectors on it. I want to say Spectrum. I know Wonder does, Icon does. There might be one more ship that has it as well. No, maybe that's it. I don't know all the ships that have the Effectors, but it is basically around that original story. So it is a Royal Caribbean story that they created, and yeah, it's just about the characters. Yeah, it's just basically about the superheroes and Crash and Burn, the two villains that are in every storyline. How has it already been 3 months? Girl, I have no idea. I blinked and 3 months have gone by. It's crazy. Time goes by so fast. And like I said, with those 3 and 4 day cruises, it's just like, I don't even know how to describe. It's kind of like a hamster on the wheel. It's day one again. Every second, it feels like. With it being such a quick turnover, the time just flies by. It's actually quite funny when I see Graham. We dock every 2 weeks together in Coco Cay. Every single time I'm like, how has it been 2 weeks? It feels like just a couple days I saw you, but it's always 2 weeks apart. It's crazy. What is the hardest part of being away from home for the last 3 months? I never typically get homesick, and I do keep up with my parents very frequently and my brother. So I'm not necessarily homesick, but I would say summer is the best time to be home in Buffalo. Like, there's so many incredible outdoor activities and the weather is just stunning. I mean, obviously I have amazing weather here, but it's just nice to do a lot of summer activities at home. So I do, miss out on that. Speaking of activities, one of my very best friends is getting married this fall. So she did have her bachelorette weekend, which unfortunately I missed out on. So that was kind of hard to not be there for, but it's okay. It's part of the job. And I do have the whole rest of my life to spend summer in Buffalo if I really want to. Totally random, but can you explain the tattoo on your arm? It always confuses me and I'd love to understand what it is. So I've gotten quite a few questions about this. The tattoo on my right arm is the outline of a skate blade. I didn't want to get like a physical skate drawn on, so I thought it would be cool to have the blade outline. I thought it was more unique, and I've never seen anyone have anything like it, so I got it with my mom, but we got that a couple years ago. How is the crew health managed? Do you have to pay? Dental care, pharmaceuticals, radiology, optician, specialist referrals. So we are insured when we are on board. When we're working on board, there is a medical facility on board that we can use, and we don't have to pay. I know if you're cruising as a guest, you will have to pay for services there, but for us, we do not have to, mainly because we're working here, so we don't really have anywhere else to go to get that done. We do have a dentist on board now. I have not seen, I don't know where his office or her office is, but we do have a dentist on board. Before, if we needed to see a dentist, we would get sent to a location off the ship somewhere. And then as far as referrals, like if we need something specific checked out, same idea, they will send us somewhere on land, usually in Florida on turnaround day. Do you prefer longer cruises or these new short cruises? I think you already know the answer, but I definitely prefer longer cruises. How can you manage your emotional state when you are away from home for so long? You know, sometimes it is a struggle. I do really try to stay as positive as possible. I am human. I'm like anyone else. I do have bad days. I have down days. I don't always show my struggles online because sometimes it's not fun to pick up your camera when you're going through something, you know, you just want to be alone with your thoughts. But it does happen here and there. For the most part, the things that help me while I'm on board is journaling. I really try to get enough sleep every night. And I also love my hot girl walks. Like, I love going for a walk outside. It helps me mentally so much. Getting to get some sun on my face and get some steps in, you know, it's very relaxing for me. It's very therapeutic. I just pop my AirPods in, listen to some music, and walk anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours sometimes. Here I haven't done as long of walks because I don't have all the time in the world for that, but I do make it a priority to go for a walk every single day. Also, I really love podcasts. So I listen to all sort of podcasts, but the Mel Robbins podcast is incredible, and I swear by everything she says. I love it. What did you think of opening a new ship? What were your favorite parts? Yeah, opening a brand new ship is incredibly exciting. It was a lot of fun, and it was a bit stressful at times, but it was overall very enjoyable and a very pleasant experience. It was very smooth sailing. Like, we put the show together so fast when we were in California, and pretty much everything stayed as is once we got on board. Obviously, we added layers of like set pieces, props, backdrops, costumes, all of that. But yeah, that was a very smooth process. I would say my favorite parts about it were, of course, opening the show. But even before that, we did our first tech run, and a lot of our friends from the other cast came to support us and watch. And the energy we felt just from performing the show for them, even though the rest of the venue was empty, was incredible. It was so fun. Yeah, that was great. They had so many activities for us and celebrations on board, which was really special. I've never encountered that many, not parties, but events for the crew members. It's also really fun to be on board before the guests, just because you have the ability to walk around literally wherever you want in whatever clothes. You don't have to be in smart casual with your name tag on. So that was a cool thing as well. And yeah, I guess just like the bonding of the crew as well. Like, the bonding of our cast was amazing, and just like the overall ship. General crew question I've never seen answered. Say you have an off night, can you gamble in the casino? You cannot. It is unavailable for all the crew members. You cannot gamble ever in the casino, which isn't really a problem for me because I am not a gambler at all. You could probably guess that because I like to save my money. But yeah, not possible. What has been your rose and thorn for the past 3 months? My thorn was definitely when I thought Callum would not be joining me. That was a very stressful time because obviously he was meant to be here pretty much right when I got here, and that did not happen. So that was very stressful, but he did end up making it here. So that was kind of like my rose after the thorn. But the rose was probably, yeah, just the show. Getting to be a part of a creation was so special, and I am so grateful that I got to experience it in my lifetime because most people don't get to experience that. Based on your experience, what are the pros and cons of being a part of the original cast of a cruise? I should have wrote this down. So the pros, the obvious pros, it's a brand new show. So you usually have, you know, updated music. The effects are insane, like the projections are incredible. Lighting is incredible. Costumes are brand new, so you are the first person to wear those costumes. They are fresh. You get a solo catered to you and built around your strengths, literally with you in mind, so that's such an amazing feeling. There's so many things. It's also really cool that we got to visit the rehearsal space in California, because otherwise I would have never seen that. So we got to rehearse on land, which was very special because, like I said before, you usually just come on board straight away, but we got to live in a hotel for about a month and rehearse there and still be on land and have access to experiences and groceries and just, you know, normal stuff that are nice to have. The cons, I mean, there's not many. It is a lot of work. I will say that. It is a lot of work. I have no problem working hard. I love working hard and putting my all into something. So for me, it's not really an issue at all. I found the workload to be very manageable. Our producer, choreographer was amazing, and she was very understanding. While the work was still a lot, it was, I personally think, not so bad. Another con, it can be very stressful. I mean, I usually thrive in stressful situations, especially when it comes to skating, but you do have all the shoreside people and the high up people in the company giving feedback to your show, and you know, it can be a bit intimidating for sure, but I think if you know how to manage your stress, it's no biggie. I guess a con of you being the first one is that you have to figure out the backstage choreography, is what we call it. So all of your quick changes and just costume changes in general, you have to figure out how to make it work, because it has to work. So you have to figure out how to make your change in time, how to preset your costumes backstage. Another added layer to that is that we don't have dressers on board. We have to dress each other and dress ourselves, which most of my other ships, or all of my other ships, we have dancers or aqua helping us backstage, zip and unzip, hook, all that. So that was definitely an added challenge, but we're making it work just fine. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's really it. That's all I can think about. There's not many. Those are all the questions that we are going to answer today. I hope that this was insightful. I'm having a great time here. I really genuinely can't believe how fast time is going by. It is pretty crazy how fast time goes. The fact that we're in the second half of 2024 and it's almost fall. Like, how is it almost September? I don't know. I just don't know. I'm really happy that I sat down, took a moment to reflect on the contract thus far. If you want to see another one of these in a couple more months, let me know. I can definitely do that. Have you guys send some more questions in, and if you have any video requests, as always, send them my way. Always looking to get your feedback. One last thing I want to say before I go, I always love meeting all of you when you come on board. So if you are on Utopia, please, if you see me around, please say hi. I'm usually working all skates, so that is the best place to catch me and chat a little bit. Likewise, if you see me walking around the ship, please feel free to say hello. But if it is a show night and I am in the show, I won't be able to meet any of you. That is really the only time that I will not be available to say hi. I won't be able to say hi before or after a show. But with that being said, thank you guys so much always for your love and support. I really appreciate everyone who watches my videos. It's so crazy to me that 90,000 of you are subscribed and tuning in every week to see what I'm up to. I feel so grateful for the community that we have built. Thank you so much for always being here and being so kind. It really makes my heart so happy to get to meet you guys in person. I hope that my videos have inspired you and improved your life in some way, because you guys have really changed my life. So thank you so much. I love you all to the moon and back, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.